Hey guys, hey, it's Anne-Marie, BaldGirlWillTravel. This is a no makeup day for me. So I'm gonna be doing this video fresh-faced, no makeup. I actually think I like sometimes coming on here with no makeup because I think it's okay to not glam up every time you want to talk about fashion and style. And I feel like there's a lot of pressure sometimes to do that, and I don't want to fall into that trap. So at least once a week, I am going to do a video and not be wearing makeup or wear minimal makeup. Because I don't wear a lot of makeup all the time because I think it's bad for your skin. People can say whatever they want. I think that wearing makeup every day is bad for your skin. And now that I don't wear makeup every day and I'm more attentive to my skincare routine, my skin looks better. So, and if, people want to know what I, use, I think I've talked about it before, but if you would like me to do a video that shows like what I do for my 50-plus-year-old face, because I have to honestly say that at the age that I am now, my skin looks better now than it did 20 years ago. And my sister was asking me what I did, and I shared with her because someone else shared this with me. So I'm not gatekeeping anything. So if people would like to know like what my regimen is, what do I do? I'm happy to share the products with you. Let me know in the comments if that's something interesting that you would like to know about. But in this video, I want to talk about dupes. And I recently posted something in my LTK where I showed multiple dupes. And I've done this before. I called it Buy This Instead. And so I want to do another Buy This Instead video today because we are in a time, those of you who still live in the US, I live outside the US, but I travel back and forth. And I travel all over the world all the time. But for those of you who live in the US, the US is more likely than not going to be in a recession soon. Probably the whole world with all the tariff wars and stuff that's going on. There's going to be some economic pressure. It's already being felt in the US and elsewhere. But, that's where conversations are coming in about, how people spend their money, what people are spending their money on now. Everything is always, based on your access to $2, because most people are living in a capitalist system of some kind. Even authoritarian places like China still operate on a capitalist, some type of capitalism because people want to make money. So I want to talk a little bit about what I'm hearing a lot. A lot of creators are talking about dupes. I'm going to share my opinion about dupes and when I think you should use it and when you shouldn't. And honestly, at the end of the day, it comes down to, y'all know what I think. Do what you want. Do what you want. Don't let other people tell you how to spend your money, what you spend your money on. If you want a bag and you see a bag and you like it, but you don't have enough money to spend, $2,900 on it, but you see a really nice dupe of it, that's $200 and you can afford to spend the $200, then buy for $200. Why save up and spend $2,900 when you could afford to spend $200 on it, right? So at the end of the day, I think people need to do what they want to do. And all of us who are on here talking, we're just sharing our opinions and our thoughts on topics that we love. Like I love style. I like to look nice when I go outside and so on. But I like to keep it simple and accessible, right? And I think style is for everyone, as I always say. And so you got to do it the way that you want to do it, right? So when it comes to dupes, I do a combination. I generally speaking do not buy a lot of dupes when it comes to handbags because for me, I'm a collector of handbags. And so for the most part, if I'm buying something, I want the real thing. But I do have some dupes in my collection, but I didn't buy them because they were duplicates of something else. I bought them because I liked them. And I'll share a little bit about what they are. I don't have that many, but I'm going to share some dupes with you guys. What I have always done, though, is when it comes to shoes and things like that, I will buy a dupe of a shoe in a minute, right? I will buy pretty much all of my clothing are dupes of something else, right? Because when you think about it, if you've watched The Devil Wears Prada, which is one of my favorite movies of all time, where Miranda Priestly explains, the colors and the things that we wear as everyday people come from somebody's imagination off of a runway, and then people make more affordable versions. Companies like Zara and Mango and H&M are just making more affordable versions of things that came off the runway last year, right? So you know, they debut in the fall, they debut the clothes for the spring. In the spring, they debut the clothes for the fall. That's going to be on the runways. And therefore, in versions of those clothes are going to be in the stores the next season. So all of us are buying dupes, whether we realize that or not. But when it comes to certain types of accessories and things, people buy more dupes. So for example, these earrings, they call them teardrops on Amazon, are dupes of a earring that Bottega put out, I guess about almost 2 years ago now, that were retailing for hundreds of dollars, you know, almost $1,000. And these earrings were brass. And as I said in another video, why in the world would you spend $300 or $400 for brass jewelry? Right? And so they might have been gold plated, but they were not gold. So people, you know, there's a dupe. This dupe came from Amazon. A lot of people were buying this version of this earring off of Amazon. You know, I have a no buy on Amazon right now, but I think Zara had put out a version of these as well. I don't know if they're still available, but this was all the rage. I still wear the earring because I like it. I don't care if people have moved on to something else. I still like them, and they match a bracelet, this ring that I wear a lot, this chain. They all have a similar shape, so I tend to wear them together. But this is a dupe, right? And I think that's perfectly fine. It's my choice. Could I have bought the Bottegas? Yes. But I wasn't going to spend that kind of money on costume jewelry. I just wasn't. Not on that particular thing. So I think that it's really up to you. But I want to talk a little bit about some dupes. And in this version of buy this, not, you know, buy this instead. Because I'm not saying buy this, not that. It's buy this instead. Because if you want to buy the other thing, then you should do that too. You know what I mean? But in this, you know, for me, I'm saying you can just as easily buy this instead. So let me show you a couple things. So one of the things that has really caught my attention this season is the Chloe line. So I just adjusted my camera because I wanted to be able to show you some things over here. And I just realized I need to adjust my camera, so I did that. But as I was saying, I really feel like people at the end of the day should do what they want to do. But recently, like in the last 2 runway shows from Chloe, I have loved like their clothing. Now, I am not usually a prince and or billowy, ruffly type clothing person. And so I admire a lot of what they have put out, but it's not necessarily my style. So there's certain things in the boho, what they call boho chic aesthetic that I like. And so I have a couple things, and I've shared in videos before, certain things that I consider boho, that are more boho style, that I would wear. But a lot of the other things are not necessarily my style. And that's okay. But I think that the last 2 Chloe shows have been really amazing. And a lot of the accessories especially, and their dresses have been duped. So for example, look at this high-low dress. And now it's Chloe. The high-low style itself is not Chloe's. It's how they did it, right? I love this. This is perfect for a wedding or something like this. But this dress is $9,000. I'm telling you right now that even if I had the money, and I am manifesting that very soon I may be at the point where I could spend $9,000 on a dress, what I can promise you is I will never spend $9,000 on a dress. Unless somebody is giving that dress to me for free to wear somewhere, it will not be on this person's body. I will never spend $9,000 for a dress. I don't even want to spend $900 for a dress. Okay? So I saw the dress. I've been on their website. I love their stuff, but it don't make no sense. But then look at this dress. It's from ASOS. It is $99, and it's basically very similar. I'm sure that, you know, the fabric itself is not the same. They still have lots of sizes. I'm just looking. They're out of size 12, but it goes up to size 14. And this, right, as of the making of this video, several of these are still in stock. And I think it's a very similar style. Y'all know I have a wedding to go to later this year, and I still haven't figured out what I'm going to wear. But I think it's going to be something out of my closet because I have a lot of options. I might do a video and show you guys some options, and you can tell me which ones you like the most. But because it's an outside beach wedding. But I think that this is a great dupe. And before we go further, I want to make clear, a dupe is something that is inspired by something. It's usually not exactly the same, but it's inspired by something. A replica or a knockoff is when somebody just copies everything, including the logo, the everything, and that's usually illegal. And you go down to Canal Street in New York or other places like in Bali and other places. I've been to places in other countries where they had whole shopping centers and boutiques that were all knockoffs. We're not talking about knockoffs today. We're talking about dupes. So we're talking about things that are inspired by something that came off of a runway, but it's not a copy. So this dress is not a copy of a Chloe dress, but it's similar in style to a Chloe dress at a much lower price point. Then there's this dress here from Zara, which I have ordered. It has not yet arrived. It has arrived where it's supposed to be, but I haven't picked it up yet. I love this dress. It is very much a style inspired by the Chloe runway show. It sold out, It sold out right away when it was on the Zara website. I actually ordered mine from eBay. And because it was someone, a seller in Spain who had the dress, brand new. Zara is a company from Spain, the country Spain. The founder of it is Spanish. And so I guess the dress was already in stores. By the time it got to the American website, it sold out immediately. You couldn't get it. There's a short version right here, and I've shared it before. I think there's still versions of this dress, also inspired by Chloe. So I think it is perfectly appropriate, if you like that style, if you like the boho style, to find cheaper versions. This dress right here is a blouse. Let me just look to make sure I'm telling you all the right thing. There are multiple things from Chloe that I've seen. There's another dress. I'm going to put it up here. I like this dress. Again, thousands of dollars. ASOS has another version. Here it is. I think it's perfectly fine. Monroe Steele actually has the ASOS version. And she paired it with like a pair of boots that are amazing, that are like over $1,000 and sold out. You can't get it. So you can mix high and low. And in one version, she's got the boots, which are, not a replica. They're Acme Studio boots. And then she paired it with this dress, which is a dupe of a runway dress from Chloe. I think it's perfectly fine to do that. And I would say to buy the dress from ASOS and let the $9,000, $10,000 dress go to someone who's a multimillionaire who can afford it, right? But for me, even if I make it into, not say even if, when I make it into the 7-figure club, I still will not be buying no dresses that cost $9,000. That's just not something. I will use that money to do things that I think are more beneficial to the world and to society than spending $9,000 a dress. But that's me. People who want to spend it should, and who can, should, if that's what they want to do with their money. But I think for other people, doing a dupe is better. Right? And so I think that's okay. And I don't think that dupes are destroying fashion or any of this foolishness that people who want you to spend the $9,000 will say. Because there is no such thing as an original thought when it comes to fashion. It's all cyclical. It comes and goes. They're copying the 70s, and they're copying stuff from the 80s, and they're copying things from the 90s. They're not coming up with any new original thoughts per se. Every now and again, you will see something that is different, that's new, like the shark boot, which I don't even like. But that was something that was more original that came out a couple years ago. But most of the time, it's just new versions of old things. And I talked about that in my last video, a couple videos back, where I talked about the fact that platforms are back, and wooden heeled platforms are back, and that also came off the runway at Chloe. And so, for example, there's this clog that came off the runway at Chloe, and here it is. It is, I think this clog is, let me tell you how much this clog is, because I thought it was crazy when I saw the price. But this clog, the version from Chloe, I'm looking at the wrong one. The version from Chloe is, I want to say it was somewhere in the $900 range for this. Okay? Jeffrey Campbell, and I'll put the actual price on the screen because I can't remember how much it costs right now. Jeffrey Campbell has a version of this that's $230 called the Cloguette. The Cloguette, right? Let me tell you something. People love to talk about Steve Madden and how he dupes like all these different shoes. Y'all don't sleep on Jeffrey Campbell. Jeffrey Campbell is usually a little bit more expensive than Steve Madden, but I feel The quality of their shoes are superior in a lot of ways to Steve Madden. And I love his shoes. I'm obsessed with Jeffrey Campbell shoes. I'm not crazy about these clogs, but if I was going to get them, I would get the Jeffrey Campbell one. Look at this green pair. I love it. And it's $230. And the Chloe one is somewhere in the $900 range, right? So obviously, if you're trying to put this look together, why would you go spend $900? So another example of another thing that came off the Chloe runway is these jelly sandals that they're wearing with this high-low dress. The shoes on the model's feet are jelly, as in plastic sandals. These plastic sandals are over $400. Jeffrey Campbell has a version. Let's talk about that one. Jeffrey Campbell has a version that is, I think, $60. And yes, $60, and it is called the Gummy Thong. And many of the colors are sold out already in my size because I wear it. It's only in whole sizes. He doesn't make half sizes in this. The pink is the most popular version, and it is sold out because the pink one is the one that was prominently in the Chloe show. So the pink one has sold out. They usually do restock, so maybe they'll restock this, but right now the pink one is sold out. The blue one is sold out because that was the other popular color. There's a tan one there. The tan one is sold out. I think they have the one in black, and I think the one in gray is still available. But the most popular colors from the runway show was the pink, the blue, the tan. And those three are already gone because it's $60. The Chloe one cost, how much is the Chloe version? I want to say it's $400. I'll tell you exactly how much it is because they have it on My Teresa. And it is 410 euros. So that's somewhere in the 450 plus USD neighborhood. So I would be like, it's a no-brainer. Get the dupe. Get the dupe, right? I don't think there's anything wrong with regular people loving style, wanting to be stylish, and not wanting to spend, money they don't have for it. You don't have to spend hundreds of dollars even. You don't have to break the bank. You should live within your means, spend within your means, and you can still look good. And that's what dupes are for. So if you see a shoe from a runway show, if you're watching Alaya, for example, there's this sandal from Alaya. It's super popular. Here's what it looks like. Monroe Steele has worn it. Others have worn it. I think they're beautiful. I don't wear heels. I don't wear high heels anymore. So this would be out of the question. However, here's a Jeffrey Campbell dupe of these sandals. If you want these shoes, you want this look, go get the Jeffrey Campbell dupe. And he has multiple versions of thong heels in their collection. So I say, go get that one. You don't have to spend all that money to break the bank. You can get the style that you like, because all of these shoes that you see coming in and out of the stores, they're inspired by the runways. It comes off the runway, then they make affordable, lower price versions. Right? The $500, $600, $700,000 version might be hand sewn or hand stitched. And the other one is made in a factory and it's glued. It's okay. It's fine. You don't have to have the hand stitched one, right? If you just want the style, but you don't necessarily planning to wear it for 10 years, then get the dupe. And a lot of times the quality shoes last just as long because I have Jeffrey Campbell shoes and sandals that I've had at least 10 years. And they're still just fine. Now, I have had other shoes fall apart after a certain period of time, but I've had pretty good results with his shoes. I'm not saying that all his shoes going to last 10 years, but I've had good results with his shoes. And so I think it's okay if you want this style, but you don't want to spend $900,000 for the Alaya sandals, to buy the dupe. Get the dupe. So here's another one that I wanted to share with you. And this is a short video, but I just wanted to share this with you. So one of my favorite dupes, and when I bought it, I knew it was similar to a bag, but I didn't buy it because of that. I bought this bag because one, I loved the bag, and two, because it was Black owned. So this is the Bottega Veneta. I can't pronounce the name, but it's an envelope style clutch purse. It's very popular. It came out last year. All the fashion girlies, a lot of them were running out and buying this. This purse is like $3,000. I saw it in, I want to say I saw it in either Neiman's or Saks. I looked at it, picked it up. It's nice. It feels nice. Bottega, you can't question the artisanship. When I was in Sicily last fall with a group of women, we went to Sicily together in one of my group trips. We went into several leather shops and they had versions of this purse as well, right? So if you go around Italy, where a lot of these things are made in Italy, you will see less expensive leather versions of lots of handbags. And the quality will depend on where you get the purse from. But they had versions of this that were not Bottega, and they were dupes. But this bag here is by Florian of London, and I own this bag. And I have it in black crocodile. I love it. It's beautiful. It's beautifully made. And I like this version way better than the one that I saw in the store for $29. I think it was $29 or $30 or $3,000 or something like that. So I think it's more than okay to get the Florian of London version here instead of the Bottega, right? If you want to spend $2,900 on the Bottega and you see it as an investment, because a lot of times when we buy these bags, it's an investment. I look at a lot of my bags as investment pieces, right? And they're collector's items. I like them. I intend to keep most of them. But if I decide I don't want something anymore, I can sell it. And a lot of times sell it at a profit. So, you know, some people buy stocks, other people buy handbags, other people buy other things. That's their business. That's my business. But if you don't want to spend that kind of money on a purse, buy the dupe. Get the dupe. And sometimes getting the dupe will tell you whether you want to still go ahead and get the original version or whether you realize you really don't like it that much and you'll just keep the dupe. That's what some people do, right? But it's okay to decide to buy dupes. And all this nonsense about dupes, you know, being bad for the fashion industry, it's not, because it's bringing attention to things that people would not ordinarily have known about. Now, some people may not like that because they're elitist and they only want wealthy people to buy their bags, Hermes and Chanel. So they keep upping their prices to try to make it less and less accessible to the masses. And I believe that that's a factor in a lot of these fashion houses jacking up their prices. That and greed, right? But I think it's okay for someone to go buy a work-in if that's what they want. I think it's okay for someone to go buy a dupe of a bag on Amazon if that's what they want and that's what they can afford. If style and fashion brings you joy, you do not have to break the bank and you don't have to be wealthy to be fashionable. You can be as fly as any of those people with their $3,000 or $4,000 dresses on, with your $99 dress on. If you know how to wear it, and you know how to coordinate it, and you know how to accessorize it, you don't have to spend a lot of money on anything and you can still be fashionable. And so I think dupes are great. I think dupes are great for the fashion industry. And I think and more importantly, dupes are great for the consumer, for the fashion consumer, right? So if you want to buy something and you can't afford to buy the original version, buy this instead. So I hope this video is helpful. I hope it's given you some ideas of things that you may have been admiring, but you see them as inaccessible in terms of price. There are lots of duplicates out there. You know, you can now take a picture of something and there's a portal on Google that you can upload the picture and it will show you versions of the item. If there are dupes available, it will show you similar versions of the item or how to find the item. So there are lots of places for you to look to get duplicates of things. Now, I am not encouraging anyone to buy knockoffs or replicas. I am not somebody who does it. I did it one time and I regretted it. I don't buy knockoffs of things. I've done it more than once, but not for myself. Like I told you guys the story of when I was in Bali, how I got on FaceTime with my sister and my cousin to show them all the really great knockoffs that were in this boutique I went into. I went into this boutique and the entire boutique was knockoffs and really good ones too. And I had an original purse on my shoulder. I had my Gucci, my red Soho. And I remember the guy looking at my bag and saying to me, "Ooh, that's a really good one." And I said, no, this is real. Mine's is real. I don't know about what's in here, but mine's is real. But there were slight things that I could tell. You could, like, if you looked at them closely, you could tell the difference. But at a first glance, everything looked really good, right? So I personally do not believe in buying replicas, but that's me. But I think there's absolutely nothing wrong with buying dupes. And so if you want a certain style, but you can't afford the $3,000 version, buy the dupe instead. So I hope you enjoyed this video. This is Anne Marie, Bald Girl Will Travel. If you did enjoy this video, please hit the subscribe button. Please hit the like button. Please tell someone about this video or share it with a friend and comment. And more importantly, please follow me, or as importantly, please follow me on LTK. You will find links to all the dupes that I mentioned in this video on my LTK. Okay, and my LTK will be linked in the description of this video, so you can link there and it'll take you to the post which all the duplicates and even maybe some extra ones that I mentioned. And I'll probably, if you find this helpful, I'll probably do some more videos and show you all some more dupes, because it's been kind of fun, like just researching, because this came to me because I was looking for some shoes. And I saw the jelly shoes on Jeffrey Campbell and I was like, why do those look so familiar? And then I realized it's because it's the same jelly shoes, a copy of the jelly shoes that I saw with the Chloe collection. So I think it's perfectly fine to go buy a dupe if you cannot find or cannot afford the original version. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye, you guys.